They told you demons are evil. But what if I told you the real monsters were hiding in churches, leading holy wars, and preaching purity while committing the darkest crimes? History proves it. Those screaming evil the loudest are usually the guilty ones. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something big, the hypocrisy of organized religion and how it's twisted our entire view of the spiritual world. The word demon is one of the most mistranslated words in history. It comes from the Greek word daimon, a guiding spirit, neither good nor bad. Over time, religion warped it into demon, making it a synonym for pure evil. But if you look at history, the ones screaming evil are usually the ones committing the worst horrors. Origins of daimon work. In ancient Greece, daemons were respected as messengers between gods and humans. Socrates himself said he had a daimonion, a spirit that guided his moral choices. These weren't monsters. They were teachers, guides, and voices of conscience. When Christianity rose to power, rival spiritual systems had to be eliminated. So the church rebranded daemons as demons. Not because they were dangerous, but because fear is the easiest way to control people. What is good and evil? But let's pause. What even is good or evil? Good is usually compassion, freedom, love, growth. Evil is cruelty, oppression, destruction. But these definitions shift depending on who's in charge. To the Crusaders, good was spreading Christianity by the sword. To the people they slaughtered, it was nothing but evil. Maybe good and evil aren't absolutes at all. Maybe they're human inventions. What one culture calls holy, another calls wicked. Spirits themselves, they're neutral. They just are. It's humans who attach the labels. The Crusades. Take the Crusades. From the 11th to the 13th centuries, armies marched on Jerusalem in the name of God. But it wasn't about holiness. It was about forced conversion and domination. Villages were burned, families slaughtered, whole populations told, convert or die. Crusaders didn't just kill Muslims. They killed Jews and even Christians who worshipped differently. A chronicler of the First Crusade wrote that Jerusalem streets ran ankle-deep in blood. And yet this massacre was called a holy war. That's the madness of it. Murder and conquest framed as acts of God. Historical hypocrisy. And history is full of the same pattern. The Inquisition and Salem witch trials. Innocent healers and midwives condemned as demonic and executed. The Holocaust. Nazis spread propaganda painting Jews as vermin, monsters, even demons, to justify genocide. 6 million murdered, while the real demons wore uniforms. Islamic extremism. Under radical Sharia law, women are beaten, raped, silenced. Groups like ISIS or Hamas justify terror, even suicide bombings, in God's name while using civilians as human shields. And if you question the religion, you're the infidel. Church abuse. And let's not pretend Christianity is clean. It's an open secret that priests have molested boys for centuries, nuns have abused girls, and scandals get covered up. The same church that condemns others for sin hides predators in its ranks. And the biggest cop-out of all, blaming demons for human actions. The devil made me do it. That's dangerous, because it strips away responsibility. It's not a demon, it's your choice. Again and again, the people crying evil commit the very evil they condemn. King Solomon and spirits. Now let's flip the script. One of the greatest kings in history, King Solomon. He's remembered as the wisest, wealthiest, most powerful of rulers. Revered across the ancient world, even chosen by God himself in scripture. And yet, Solomon openly worked with spirits. According to texts like the Testament of Solomon, he commanded daemons and used their knowledge to build the Temple of Jerusalem. These weren't portrayed as evil forces dragging him down. They were builders, helpers, sources of wisdom. If the wisest king to ever live worked with spirits, maybe there's more to them than fear. Maybe working with spirits is part of humanity's path to knowledge and power. Gnosticism and the Demiurge. The Gnostics took this even further. They believed the god of organized religion isn't the true creator at all, but the Demiurge, a false god who keeps humanity trapped in illusion. The Demiurge, often symbolized by Saturn, rules through fear, obedience, and dogma. Religion isn't liberation. It's the prison. True freedom comes from gnosis, direct knowledge of the divine spark inside you. Not from obeying an institution, but from awakening to who you really are. The origins and use of demonology. That brings us to demonology, the catalogue of spirits. Demonology wasn't created to scare people. It was created to understand them. Medieval grimoires listed spirits not as monsters, but as intelligences to be worked with. And many were known for good outcomes. Bune, for wealth and eloquence. Andromalius, for justice and uncovering theft. Paimon, for knowledge and mastery of the arts. Orobas, for truth and loyalty. These spirits were called upon not to destroy, but to guide, protect, and reveal. And here's the twist. Many believe the lesser key of Solomon isn't about external demons at all. It's about summoning your shadow self. Each spirit represents a part of your unconscious. Greed, fear, ambition, creativity. To summon them is to confront your shadow. To command them is to master it. That's not evil. That's self-knowledge. That's power. So here's the truth. The word demon was never meant to mean evil. Religion warped it to control people through fear. The real evil isn't in spirits. It's in human cruelty wearing the mask of holiness. From the Crusades, to the Inquisition, to the Holocaust, to terrorism, to church scandals, the story is always the same. The accusers are the guilty ones. Spirituality isn't about chains or fear. It's about freedom. It's about responsibility. It's about awakening to the fact that you are an infinite being. Spirits, daimons, guides, they're not your enemy. They're part of your path back to yourself.